When a sponsorship is underperforming, where does the blame usually go? Weak activation, poor creative, inconsistent execution. But what if the real problem sits somewhere else entirely? What if it's not an execution problem? What if it's a decision problem? Here's the reality that most brand owners are dealing with. Portfolios are growing. Sponsorships now span multiple geographies. There's different properties and categories. Investment levels are up and expectations are higher. But here's what's not keeping pace: the ability to make clear, comparable, defensible decisions about those investments. Despite sponsorship representing on average between 10 and 12% of total marketing spend, that's roughly 120 billion USD globally, measurement investment typically runs below 1% of sponsorship budgets. Compare that to 3% in other marketing channels. That's a structural disadvantage. Sponsorship is being evaluated alongside channels that have better decision infrastructure, clearer performance frameworks, and more consistent accountability. So, what's actually missing? Between strategy and execution, there is a layer that most brand owner organizations do not have, and it is decision infrastructure. The frameworks, benchmarks, and systems that make it possible to structure decisions, compare investments, and defend them when scrutiny increases. Without that layer, decisions get made in isolation. Different markets apply different logic. Similar sponsorships are evaluated in completely different ways. Trade-offs become inconsistent. And that's where the value leaks, not in a single bad decision, but across dozens of small ones. Renewing at escalated costs because the value is unclear. Continuing investments that no longer serve a defined role. Underutilizing rights because activation isn't coordinated, misallocating spend across platforms that were never designed to be compared in the first place. Here's a common scenario. A global property comes up for renewal, fees increased 15 to 20%, and stakeholders need to ask some questions. Is this still performing relative to alternatives? Are we using the rights we're paying for? How does value compare across the portfolio? Without valuation frameworks, benchmarks, and utilization data, those questions get answered through negotiation pressure, through prior precedent, or through relationships, but not through a structured comparison. The decision gets made, but it's not consistently defensible. And here's what is shifting. Execution is table stakes. Strong activation, reliable delivery, sound negotiation, those are all expected. What differentiates now is decision enablement, the ability to bring frameworks, benchmarks, and systems that help brand owners structure decisions, compare investments, and defend them with the same rigor applied to other marketing spend. This shift, it's already happening. Decision support is moving earlier in the process. Intermediaries like us, agencies, consultancies, are embedding proprietary IP into ongoing workflows and not just delivering one-off reports. As delivery models converge, basic execution alone is becoming less distinctive. Differentiation sits in the quality of decision infrastructure partners bring to the table. So if sponsorship is becoming more visible, more scrutinized, or harder to defend inside your organization, ask this: do your current partners bring the frameworks, benchmarks, and systems that make sponsorship decisions consistently comparable and consistently defensible? And if not, that's the gap worth closing first. This is the work we focus on every day here at Lumency, supporting brand owners with the structure, the data, and the frameworks that enable better decisions alongside the execution that is required to bring those decisions to life. Let's connect.